Okay, so I just wanted to make this introduction to tell you guys, and again, this is yet another Trader Joe's gem sign. I think this came out during the Grammys, and the award goes to Lady Goda. Anyway, I don't know about y'all, but I love my Trader Joe's, just as I'm sure many of you guys do who shop there. I'm telling you, it's so much less expensive than most of the other stores, and they even have organic. But that said, this video that I'm about to show you, well, that's about to be edited right after this one, because I finally figured out how to do that. Well, I've been knowing how to do it a few months. But anyway, this video that's coming up after this one, I may sound kind of tired, but I was really seriously incredulous. Like, I swear to God, out of 80 employees, I recognized only 5. And I know there's nothing I can prove, there's nothing that I can show you that I can prove, but I honestly felt like when I entered the place that night and the first person I saw at the door, including several of the cashiers I didn't recognize, I was like, oh my God, I'm not in my same world anymore. I don't know these people. It's kind of like the way that I felt when I realized that Jupiter and Saturn no longer had rings. Only Saturn had depicted rings, and consistently depicted rings at that. I discovered that in the summer of 2017, and I was like freaking out. I was like, oh my God, these people, if they don't remember Jupiter having rings the same way Saturn did, then I don't know these people. And almost nobody did. But in my entire childhood, and this is the biggest Mandela effect for me, always, the 2 biggest bad boys in the center had rings. Oh my God, and this is so weird because, oh no, here, yeah, these 2 always had rings. The 2 big bad boys right next to each other. Now only Saturn has rings. So that is a total Mandela effect for me. Notice I hardly ever say anything as a Mandela effect because I want to ask you guys. I want to get your opinion and weigh in because I can't decide it all for myself. And I'm always cognizant of the fact that I could have incorrect memories on certain things, but this is one I know my memory was correct, as was the Space Needle from Frasier. All right, peace out. Oh my God, you guys. So I tried to edit this video to the first video and it just didn't work out very well because you couldn't hear what I was saying or anything like that. But essentially what had happened is Thursday was my day off. I had physical therapy, so I sounded kind of tired when I made the original video. But I went to Trader Joe's, and it's the Trader Joe's in Hollywood, so you know it's really funny and it's got a lot of hilarious posters in it. And I went there, and as soon as I walked in the door, I was like, something just felt a little bit different. And it wasn't until I got to the sample counter, which, yeah, I know, I always take the samples. I always go in there for the samples, even if I don't buy anything. Shh, don't tell anybody. Actually, it's kind of funny because I told one of my friends, one of my coworkers once, when I went to Trader Joe's, when I was going through this phase where I didn't really shop there, but I just ate the samples, I was telling him, like, oh, I don't know, I feel kind of bad. I just come here and get samples, and I just feel like they're going to curtail my allotment, and they're going to hang a sign in the back where it says, like, oh, give this woman no snacks because it's all I do. And he was like, I don't know. I feel bad about going to the record store down the street and giving the guy my bag and making him hold it, and I don't buy anything. I'm just like, really? You feel bad about that? And he's like, yeah, you feel bad about getting snacks at Trader Joe's? I'm like, yeah. I don't know. And it all just felt like a total Seinfeld episode after that. It's just like, I just feel bad, you know? Shouldn't the security guard be given a chair? Anyway. Why am I always going off topic? I don't know. I just think of all these funny things when I tell you funny things that aren't that funny, but that are funny in a weird kind of way. Anyway, so I went to Trader Joe's, and as soon as I walked in, it just felt really, really strange. And I just didn't recognize anybody. And when I got to the sample counter, like, the guy was totally different. And then I looked behind me, and the guy stacking shelves was totally different. And then I walked up to the cash registers, and everybody there was totally different. And I was just thinking to myself, what is going on here? I mean, I saw maybe 4 or 5 employees that I recognized. So I couldn't help myself. I went up to the counter, and I asked the guy, I said, did you just hire a bunch of new people? And he was like, no, we only hired about maybe 4 people out of 110. And I'm just like, That's funny because it seems to be the reverse. I only recognize 4 people out of anybody working here. So it was really, really strange. And I went back the night after, and I told the woman again at the sample counter, I was like, this is what happened, and it seemed really, really weird, and I didn't understand why I just didn't recognize anybody there. And she goes, oh yeah, well, we hired 1 person today, so that makes it a 5th person. And the only thing that she could think is that maybe all of or most of the daytime staff was working at night, and then most of the nighttime staff had been working during the day that day. But the thing of it is since it's the summertime, I have different days of the week off now, and I go there a lot during the day. So I go there a lot during the day, and the staff during the day doesn't really look that much different than it does during the night, or I'm just used to them all. But it was really, really strange, and I go there pretty much 7 days a week, and I go there during the day. So I just was thinking to myself, and I know this is going to sound weird, but it just felt this way for just myself personally, that when I went in there on Thursday night, it just seemed like kind of a different world. I mean, and the guy slinging the snacks, the guy slinging the samples had just this totally different vibe about him too. It was just like the people that were working there had this totally different vibe about them. So that was kind of all I wanted to say. Again, it reminds me of the whole Jupiter with rings and not rings thing. And I know that a lot of you are probably thinking like, oh, well, yeah, Jupiter has subtle rings around it, which has been proven scientifically true. But I remember Jupiter as having had rings from the time I started learning about the planets. And the time I started learning about the planets was in 1977. Problem is, the rings were not discovered around Jupiter until 1979. So, I don't know. I'm totally weirded out by this. And by the way, these are just like dorky signs around the store. I was like trying to talk about the dorky signs around the store, but I don't know. My voice was kind of quiet because I didn't want everyone to know that I was like this crazy lady in the store. But that said, I'm just wondering, like, if you guys have ever felt like you're in just this weird alternate reality. You just go someplace and everything's different, or the people are different. And that's the other thing too, like just the fact that the vibe about the guy slinging the snacks was different, and just the fact that just everything felt a little foreign to me without actually being foreign. And that is how I would imagine skating on a parallel reality would feel like. Just like, most everything isn't that crazy, especially if it's a parallel reality that's just 2 feet away from you, or like, how did my friend's college roommate described it as being 9 feet above us. There's an alternate reality. But that's what it would be. It would be subtle differences. It wouldn't be a major thing, but it is kind of a major thing, because when they start replacing whole stores of people, that's just really weird. But of course, when I went back there last night, it was all totally normal. Anyway, just let me know what you know what you think, and peace out.